Red Glasses Talks. The title today is Spiritual Cancer. The number one problem with men and women in our world, in our country, is we all have spiritual cancer. What are we talking about? Well, you say, I don't know if I would agree with that or not. We've got a lot of problems. Well, what would your list be? Some would say, well, it's the educational system. Others would say, well, our political system is broken. Some would say, well, it's the gun controls. That is a nightmare. It's broken. Some would say, well, it's that whole philosophy of wokeism. That's what's messing everything up. And on and on and on and on the list goes. Very few people, I believe, understand what the number one issue and problem is in our country. The number one problem in our country is people are broken. And because we're all broken, we do some crazy things to try to fix ourselves, try to be okay with ourselves and impress others and make it through this life. Someone said it this way, in this life we basically go through it moaning. A deep feeling inside of distress and confusion and lack of purpose and meaning in life. Jeremiah in the Old Testament, chapter number 17, verse number 9, says the following. 17:9, the heart, that's the mind, the will, and the emotions, is hopelessly dark and deceitful, a puzzle that no one can figure out. So in the Old Testament, the heart was not the ticker. The heart included the mind, the will, and the emotions. So what does a broken, sick heart yield? What's the product that comes out of that? So if you look at Mark chapter 7, verse number 21, we read, it's what comes out of the person that pollutes: obscenities, lust, thefts, murders, adulteries, greed, depravity, deceptive dealings, carousing, mean looks, slander, arrogance, foolishness. All these are vomited from the heart. There is the source of pollution. That's where it is. It's the heart. But how many of us understand the real issue again? It's the heart. I call it a spiritual cancer. Our heart, mind, will, and emotion, is inflicted with a spiritual cancer. A spiritual cancer, which basically means there's something in me that wants me to do what me wants to do. It's all about me. We're filled with me, a spiritual cancer. Sometimes we don't want to shoot straight and tell those that we love and those that are around us the real issue. The real issue is none of the issues. The majority of our media, most of the conversation going on in our country, all the craziness that's going on, it's not dealing with the issue. Romans 3:23 says we all have the disease, for all have sinned and have spiritual cancer. Sin means missing the mark of God's standard. Romans 6:23 says the result of sin is the wages of sin equals death. Someday we all have to go 6 feet under, turn our toes up, and it's over. So the question is this: is there any hope? Well, you tune in next time to Red Glasses, and we're going to give you some hope.